can we start with the call? What is that?
Patrick Bailey, man, that's what it is. He stole it.
What is that? Tony Randazzo behind home plate. It's a 4-run game in the 7th, and JT Realmuto gets rung up by a pitch just a lot outside, Trevor.
Yeah. JT especially too. He knows he plays that game being a catcher really, really well. You can speak to this, AJ. Like he knows how much, emotion he can show without, getting his pitcher or himself in trouble. So when he gets mad, he means something. But yeah, that was rough. Not only that, the pitcher's reaction, it's one of those, like, you very, very rarely feel guilty as a pitcher when you get a call. That one you're like, I didn't earn that at all. I'll take it. But so even he hesitated. He's like, yeah, totally. It was right there. Nowhere close. Patrick Bailey, 100%. That's the Bailey effect.
Yeah, he stole it. I mean, he stole it. JT would have been doing like this on top of his head if we had the ABS.
Exactly.
He would have been jumping up and down with 2 hands on his head.
I thought he might have done it just to.
No, he didn't want to get ejected.
Yeah.
Because if you go like this now, then you're basically, everyone knows what that means. So you're just showing up at the umpire and you're going to get the heave-o. But I don't know. He stole one. And Tony Randazzo, I don't know. Umpires make mistakes, man.
That was a big steal.
But they make mistakes. That's one of the beauties of baseball, and that's why I don't want the full robot umps, because it's still the beauty of baseball. If we go full robo umps all the time, what can you argue? You can't argue anything, and that will be boring.
But this won't happen next year, is the point, Trevor.
Unless they're out of challenges.
Yeah. If you're out of challenges, then you yell at someone for blowing your challenges. But if not, This is an easy tap, and we continue.
Yeah, if you run out of challenges, that's a skill issue, which I love. I love that it's make it strategy related, so you can pick and choose your spots. And if you're really good at it, you'll keep them, which I think is some teams can separate themselves from others, which, who are you given the opportunity to call it? That situation, that's what we want to avoid. It's almost like the umpires get caught up in, and maybe this question, AJ, how do you feel about how often did it happen where a guy behind the plate was kind of caught up in the tension of the game, just like the players, and sometimes they pull the trigger a little bit and they're like, oh, that was just a reaction that I maybe didn't do. Does that happen all the time?
You could butter him up sometimes too. You could kind of butter him up a little bit, talking to him. You could get him, especially, I mean, in the old days. Now, I mean, not now because they have the box, but you could still get guys, veteran guys. There would be times where umpires would just be like, look, it's 10-0. Like, tell your boys swing at everything.
They would say that to you.
It's going to be a strike.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is a strike. So just swing. And then you'd go in the dugout and you'd tell your guys, and they'd call one off the plate, and they'd start arguing. And the umpire would be like, I told you to tell them. I'm like, I told them, but they still can't pull the trigger. But it's changed now. It's obviously a much better strike zone than what it was, but it definitely is different.
It's going to change more, though, next year, because you're going off the same parameters machine-wise, not on a pitch-by-pitch basis. But, Trevor, if an ump thinks, no, that's a strike, but the machine says no, and you keep calling it, they'll keep challenging you, and you don't, at least the way it's perceived right now, you don't lose the challenge. They might change it, but I think they're going to get 3 challenges, and you keep them if you keep getting it right, because that prevents the bad ump. More in a minute, but first, a quick word from our sponsor of this video. AJ, it is time for people to get some new clubs, and to do that, they need to go to their local PXG for a fitting, right?
No doubt. I was there today. I've been there before. Last time I was there, they gave me this killer gap wedge. Look at that sweet spot, Scott. It is worn out. That is right in the sweet spot right there. So I went and got new clubs today, new irons. But more importantly, I got this bad boy. I got me a new putter. This is my old putter. It's on order. Yes, that's my putter cover. PXG Mustang putter. Now I'm going to the Allen putter. They talked me into it because I was draining some putts today. Bob, the guy who helped me out, he helped me with my irons. He got them teed up perfectly. But then we went to the putting green. I was draining them putts because that's the most important part of golf.
PXG fittings are fun. Schedule your fitting today. As you can hear from AJ, for a limited time, you could save up to 20% on your entire order. Head over to pxg.com/foul. That's pxg.com/foul to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/FOUL. Restrictions apply. See site for details. And now back to the video.
Yeah. I don't think they'll take it away. I think they'll keep it just like challenges of other plays. I think that's the best way to do it. And like I said, you got guys that are really, really good at seeing close or far away from the side. and they can throw out a signal or whatever. They can help each other out. You veteran guys are going to get a little bit of advantage. I don't know. It's almost a tiny bit of that old school veteran advantage, just because they know the strike zone better, so they have an advantage by having a lot of experience. The more of those things we can keep in the game, I think, it like preserves the traditional feel of it while also helping solve a problem at least somewhat, and keeping it like a strategy situation as opposed to just everything's right, everything's wrong. There has to be tension. There has to be room for error, both for the guys calling the game and the guys playing the game, because it's humans playing. It's a human game, so there has to be some of that. But you can clean up. If you can clean up 80% of it, then I think that's enough.
By the way, so I mean, we could do a whole show on stories of umpires and calling pitches. I mean, I could do a whole show on stuff that I heard back there and told umpires and said umpires. A lot of it we couldn't use on the air, but I mean, we could do a whole show. I'm sure Trevor has some stories of umpires telling me about strike zones and things they saw and what to do and whatnot. You'd have one umpire tell you this, and the next umpire the next day would say, "Don't do that," da, da, da. And you're like, "Wait, the guy yesterday told me to do it." I mean, it was incredible, especially when I was young, the things that the umpires would say. And then as I got older, I would tell them, and they would usually throw me out of the game. But I mean, there was a lot of things that happened back there. I mean, you're confined to the guy is right. I mean, the dude is right on. I mean, he's right here. So you got full conversation for half the game.
Yeah, you're spending about an hour and a half with him.
Yeah, and nobody knows what's happening. Like, you can have full conversations. That's why, like, some hitters would be like, "Can you guys shut up?" Because you're talking like, there are certain guys you talk like college football or golf, and you're talking the whole game, and the hitter's trying to hit. He's like, "Can you guys just shut up, please?"
But
you're talking about nothing about the baseball.
Yeah, you're getting in his head then. If he has to say that to you, then he's not locked in.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.